What's up everybody, Jimmy Games NZ here, and we are going to be talking about E3 2016. Now you've probably already seen the conferences or maybe even checked out some of the games that are coming out in the via trailers, but I just want to share some of my opinions of some of the games that are coming out. So we're going to be starting with EA's conference. So EA started off with their Titanfall 2, release date on October 28th. I've played Titanfall 1. I thought it was a really cool game. I had a lot of fun with that game. It did a lot of cool things, and I liked the gameplay, style of Titanfall 1. So it's cool to see Titanfall 2, and it's cool to see that it's going to be on multiple platforms. So Titanfall 1 was an Xbox One exclusive, and owning both, it didn't matter for me, but I think a lot of the guys who had PS4s or could only pick the one, I think they really wanted to play Titanfall 1. And one of the reasons why I really liked Titanfall 1, don't get me wrong, but the reason why I found the game kind of short, and a lot of my friends were playing on PS4 anyway. So it's cool to see that Titanfall 2 is going to be on PS4 as well. That's probably the one that I'd like to swap over to. And I like that they've put in a campaign now with it. So they've got this relationship between the robot and the pilot, and I think that's going to be cool. It seems that, in my opinion, it could be very predictable. The robot may die, he can easily sacrifice himself, maybe have that Terminator 2 of learning the value of human life and stuff like that. But graphically, I didn't find it too impressive. The ideas of it was really was pretty cool, but I don't know. What do you think? Do you think Titanfall would be any cool? Let me know in the comments below. Switching up next, we got FIFA 17. Now, I don't want to talk too much about FIFA 17 because I'm not a huge fan. I'm not too much of a sports games kind of guy. I do like to play physical sports, but I find that game sports, it just doesn't float my boat. It's just not what I want to do. If I really wanted to play a sports game, I'd go out and do it myself, right? But not to take away from the franchise, football and FIFA is hugely popular around the world. And now in FIFA 17, they're going to be adding a campaign mode along, as well as with Titanfall 2, they're having a campaign. Yeah, I think it's cool. I think it's alright. I think it will make something different for those who buy these sports games. I think it'll be cool. I don't know if you can actually... I think you've got a set created player to play as, or to follow their story. I think it would be cooler if you could create your own character. Because I find with sports games that I've played, I would either want to create myself or a character, because I don't want to be, for example, like the WWE games. I don't want to be The Rock. I want to beat The Rock. I especially want to beat Roman Reigns and John Cena as myself or as my character. So I think I'm not too sure if you could create your own character, but I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt. I think it'd be cool for FIFA fans to play the campaign, and once that's done and dusted, you can continue playing your own game. So next up, we had this indie game called Fi. I thought it was very cool. You can't help but think that it's like the next Journey from on PS4. But it was really cool. It's cool that they're doing these different styles, and also because the idea is that game titles can and are art for a lot of these things, very creative. I think Fi is going down that route, and I think it's really cool to see these indie developers try these different games and try different like sounds and styles, and it's another avenue for those who maybe don't play games a hell of a lot. They can try these different games. That'd be very cool, which I think it might be okay. Next up that they showed in the EA was the Star Wars. Like they were showing a whole bunch of new Star Wars games that are coming out. So I believe there's 9 coming out from a range of different developers. But just from the things that I picked out from the video and stuff like that, I saw the slight trench run for Battlefront, Star Wars Battlefront. So along with the DLC, I like the Star Wars game. It's not very big, but it looks amazing, and I've enjoyed playing it, and I've put in a lot of hours into playing that game, but the DLC still hasn't got me yet. And it's basically because when the Star Wars Battlefront game came out, I really wanted to do the Death Star run. Who doesn't, right? I wanted to do the Death Star run, and they didn't include that in the game. That's going to be in the upcoming DLC. So as much as I enjoy Star Wars Battlefront, I don't think I'll really buy the DLC until that Death Star run comes out. But I was really impressed that they're going to, with the next DLC, the Bespin DLC with Lando Calrissian, and that actually looked really cool. I didn't think I'd be sold on it, but I think that would be really cool. But in their little dev diary, I was hoping that they'd show a lot more Star Wars. I felt like I was kind of cheated with this diary dev. I do like these diary devs giving us the behind the scenes kind of look of like what they're up to and stuff. But with these E3 conferences, I think we all want to see more, right? We want to see more. Not just like, oh, hey, we're working on this, and blah, blah, this. But from their dev diary that they showed, they were showing bits and pieces of games they were working on. So it was good little snippets. So you can actually have a look at that trailer. I'll try and add the link below. Of the stuff that they had, and I'm showing some of the footage here. But there was the Death Star run from Battlefront, and there was a cool X-Wing VR mission that you probably know that one's coming up. But we'll talk about that in the Sony conference, eh? And then there was Stig. He was one of the directors of God of War, and he was doing a little fight scene thing. And they've got a few third-person Star Wars games coming out. It's awesome that we've seen a lot more Star Wars games. I think it's flipping great, freaking awesome. And it's really cool to see original narratives. Also with the Star Wars Battlefront 2 coming out sometime soon. They didn't put a date in, but now they're going to be including stuff from the new films, and you kind of saw a bit of that. So have a look at that dev diary, and you can see the little hints and things that they're showing before. So cool Star Wars stuff coming out. It's gonna be really cool to see. And next we have Battlefield 1. Battlefield 1, I think is really cool. I like that they've gone back to the old World War days, World War 1 even, so they're getting real old school. I didn't think I would like that kind of stuff, because there was a time where World War games, especially World War 1 and 2, got really boring. They were the first person shooters at the time. And they just got a tad bit boring, and then as games kind of developed, and they had Modern Warfare come out, and then the games got faster, and then they went into like Future Warfare, and now it's all spaceships and stuff. So I'm glad that they've kind of toned it back in a futuristic first-person shooter saturated environment with games. So it's cool that they've gone back, and it actually looks really cool. It's really cool. It seems, I think it gets the feeling of World War One. As fun as playing shooter games are, World War One have been real gritty, and having the things that they showed in the trailer were like the weather effects and just how unpredictable they are and can be. The different vehicles, the blimps. So I think the game itself is going to be a lot slower. They didn't have like a hell of a lot of machine guns, and World War One was kind of the dawn of the tank. So we won't get a hell of a lot. Blimps are cool, but I think it's cool that they've taken that step back, I think, because we all know that Call of Duty are doing that futuristic stuff, which we will talk about in that Sony conference coming up. And those are my opinions about EA's conference. What did you think? Let me know in the comments below. If you did like this little chat that we had, do give a like and subscribe. Press those buttons. And let me know. I want to hear what you think. Let me know below in the comments. My name's Jimmy Games NZ. Thanks for watching. Peace.